I'm ready. Okay.
So the question is, what is hard to accept about myself?
I'm answering the question about what's hard for me to accept about myself.
So today's question is,
what do I find it hardest to accept about myself?
I think the hardest thing to accept about myself is that I can sometimes be like really lazy and unmotivated and cynical both at the same time, which is like a really bad combination.
I wish I were in better physical shape. I would like to have more time to work out, to run, to lift weights. And every week I think this is the week, but most of the time it doesn't happen. Maybe next week.
I judge people. That's the worst part. It's, who am I to judge people? But I do it, and I just catch myself and say, stop that.
The thing I find hard to accept about myself is how I look and sound on camera.
what is hard to accept about yourself? I'm impatient.
I can't live up to people's expectations, and I disappoint them.
I struggle in school because I have ADHD and various stuff like that, and I get kind of interpreted as stupid a lot. So then when I actually do something good, I always doubt how good it actually is.
As odd as it may sound, I feel that it's hard to accept that I am worthy of love and that I deserve to be happy.
I always feel like I should be doing more, should be doing more, should be doing more, and I never feel like I'm enough.
One of the things I've struggled with accepting and embracing is my body. I'm not entirely comfortable with, my own skin.
What's hard to accept about myself and what I feel is a particularly unattractive quality in myself is the tendency to sometimes get very jealous and possessive of some of my closest friends. It's hard for me to form lasting and deep bonds with people, and if I'm very good friends with a woman who then becomes very close to someone else, I do find myself feeling a little bit jealous, a little green with envy about the time not shared with me.
So I'm going to answer the question, what is it to... No, I'm not. What is hard to accept about yourself?
What has been very hard for me to accept about myself is that I have too many cats. I love all the cats. I don't want to admit how many cats I have. Well, all right, I have 25 cats. Most of them live outdoors inside a cat fence that I put up. And I love all the cats because they're all special. Every cat matters, and they're all part of the natural world that we live in. And it's very hard. It's very easy to acquire cats, and very difficult to send them on their way where they will live happy lives.
What's hard for me to accept about myself is my power. And I've learned to give away my power, unfortunately, and I'm ashamed of the power I get from being male in a male-dominated world. I'm ashamed of the power I get from being white in a racist world, and of being heterosexual in a homophobic world, and of being rich in a world that has a lot of poverty. And so it's hard for me to So unfortunately, I've internalized those things, and it's made me ashamed of my power. And what I'm trying to learn is to step into my power, the power that I have from being the good person that I am, and the power to change the world and to be myself and to share love with others. And that's what I'm all about.
It wasn't until I turned 40 that I had to go through a major realization and a plunge to find out, even get on the boat to who I am. So a lot of the things that I've kind of just thrown away from myself were actually walls, things to protect that nice caramelly center of myself.
What's the hardest thing to accept about yourself? I think probably that I can't make everybody happy, and I just have to understand that. What about you?
I think probably that not everybody's going to like me. I mean, sometimes I think I'm likable, but I don't get like cocky with it. But I have met people that don't like me, and I'm okay with that. I just kind of just slowly revolved away.
And I work on that, and it's not something I am proud of, but it's something I'm aware of, and I know I need to keep working on, because there's certainly room enough in my heart for everyone.
Well, I guess that would be that I'm not perfect.
Perfect.
But there's still things in me that are very hard to accept. One of them is that I always have to have a happy ending.
So if anybody wants a cat, I have a very good selection.
Very good.